Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Elemental Companion podcast. I am your host, Heather, and today we are speaking to the lovely Noelle. Noelle, hi. Say hello. Tell us what you're here for.
Hello.
What you
Hello.
doing?
I'm good.
Awesome. So, what do you do? What's your thing? What do you want to talk about?
Today, I wanted just to share a little bit about living in the middle of America. I don't
Oh,
know.
fun.
Yes, I don't know if a lot of your followers are in the US or around the world, but it is very exciting living in Nebraska. Um, Currently, I have been out of the workplace. I have been taking care of two of my three wonderful children. They have been medically fragile, but I am getting back into the workforce, helping women take care of the things that they need to take care of. And I have been kicking butt and taking names, and I have been pretty successful at it on a non-paid status, but I've been doing it on a non-paid
Mm-hmm.
um,
Hey, it still counts, though.
yeah, it still counts. But getting back to what I was intending to do when I graduated college, but yeah, it's been pretty fun. But yeah, getting back into what I wanted to do prior to uh, um, my children having some medical issues. But it's been pretty fun overall.
Cool. So, what is it like in America at the moment?
Well, it's a little stressful with a little election going on. So some of the things that I have been helping some of the ladies that I've been speaking with, um, just some confidence issues. They've been asking some questions about um, um, my focus is I am a certified executive coach. So
Cool.
some of the things that I've been helping people with have been confidence, common sense issues, just a variety of things. I help them, talk through some of the problems that they've been going, having in their life. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, they have the answers within them, but they don't necessarily know that they do. So,
Yeah.
um,
Like, people are quite smart that way. It's usually
yeah,
somewhere
yes,
inside, but getting to that can be a bit of a process.
yeah. They don't have the confidence to actually act out on the decisions that they need to act out on. Sometimes they just need that someone just to talk to say, hey, you can do this, but um, they just need that one person just to listen to them and just say, hey, I know you can do this. I know that you are smart enough, strong enough, beautiful enough to do this. You can be counted on to
Yeah.
do this. And some of the results that people have been having have just been remarkable. People are getting the job that they have been applying to. They are moving out on their own and getting that apartment that they needed to get.
Mhm.
Some of the other results have been they're finally telling that person, hey, just leave me alone. They've got
Yep.
people in their life that are toxic and they just need to be left alone. I mean, it's just some of it is just they're not big things in their life, but
No.
they're just the tiny little things, and that tiny little spark can be what they need to make the more positive changes in their life, and they're happier, they're more at peace with themselves,
Mhm.
and sometimes that's all they need. So yeah,
Yeah. I
I'm
mean,
it, it, it
cool.
it's good. It's good, and I'm hoping once things maybe after the election,
Yeah, maybe after that.
yes, maybe after the election, we can, calm down, and I can start building whatever I decide to build for a practice or website or whatever. I can do that in a paid form,
Mhm.
website, whatever. Just because there's a lot of other women that would probably enjoy hearing this.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. My style of talk is, usually pretty, comical. I like to tell a lot of jokes. I like to tell a lot of, good stories and that, because stories are how people usually share their information. And I've got a lot of good stories, and they're usually pretty funny. And
Mhm.
humor is the best way to move things along.
Well, humor connects, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, like a lot of other ways where you're just talking at someone or lecturing or giving hard theory, it's not going
Yeah.
to loop up to anything in their lives that they recognize. But
Yeah.
we all have things that we've laughed
Yeah.
about ourselves, about other people, about situations. So, yeah.
Yeah. Humor has kept me going all through these years, and it's kept me smiling. It's kept me from getting as many gray hairs as I've gotten. So
Lucky you.
yeah, I hide a few of them, but it's kept me going, and it's kept me happy. So I want to be able to share more of that. So and maybe a few nerd anecdotes here and there too. Got to get my nerd.
Of course, that's
Yeah,
like required.
here
So,
and there.
okay, since you are in fact a nerd also,
Yes.
what are your favorite fandoms?
Marvel and Buffy. Those are my two.
Buffy's good.
Yes. Um, my two older boys and I, we watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer every week when it would come out. We never missed a week. So
Wow.
it was the one thing that we shared when we were when it was, when the original episodes were coming out. So
Yeah.
and I still follow Sarah Michelle Gellar online. Some of the stuff that she's got. Oh yeah. So she's, that series and Angel, they were things that we just really enjoyed. So
Yeah, I mean, to be totally fair, there's a lot to enjoy about
yeah,
Buffy. And,
yeah,
I can't speak as much to Angel because I only saw like 12 episodes of that one and I keep meaning to go back to it. But Buffy, certainly.
oh yeah. So I have a couple of the Funkos. I have more of the Marvel, but yeah, a couple of the Funkos and some of the books and stuff like that. So, but yeah, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. So
It does. It
yeah.
does. Especially that one musical episode.
Oh yeah, yeah. Gotta love the musical, but yeah, no, I just, and I've enjoyed seeing as some of the characters and some of the actors as they've gone on in their careers too. I enjoy seeing some of them and
Yeah, it's
following them too.
always nice spotting them in other things.
Yes,
And
that's
it's like, oh, I know you. I recognize your face. Excellent.
yeah. Yeah, Robot Chicken and Seth Green. I mean, he has just done wonders with Robot Chicken. So, you catch it. It's like, what did you do with that? Oh my geez. So, yeah, it's definitely something I've, and my older boys, they're in their mid-20s now. So,
Yeah.
I see that perspective. I mean, they grew up with that. So, and now my youngest, he's 11, and he doesn't quite understand some of it as much, but I'm raising him with some of that too.
Yeah.
He's starting to get old enough for some of it now. But
Yeah. Because, like, oh, when did they get me to start watching it? I think I must have been about 10 or 11 when I
yeah,
started watching it with my parents as
yeah,
well. And you miss a lot of it the first time, right? Like,
yeah,
it goes happily over your head, and then you
yeah.
watch it again later and go, oh, and you watched this with
Yeah, but yeah, no, I've watched all of it, and but yeah, it's and my husband, he wasn't around for my older two, but now he's with my youngest, he's like, oh, okay, so now he gets to enjoy some of this now too. So
See?
uh,
Family time is important.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's fun, and he has his own interests too, so I have to do that with him and then come back. So it's one big happy family with everybody.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so will we do what we are actually here to do then?
Yes.
Okay. Or actually, just quickly, do you have anywhere that people could find you online just now? Anything you'd want us to link to?
Not right now. I need to do some adjusting on profiles and that. Some of that's out of date, but once I do, I can share that information with you.
Sure. I am quite happy to add it into things later fine
Yeah.
as well. So guys at home, if that appears magically in the description
Yeah.
at some point, it's there. But in that case, we will move on just now. Now, the quiz, as I have mentioned, has two very, very horrible questions, and we'll just explore them and get through it a bit. There are no wrong answers, by the way.
Okay.
But just, and feel free to ramble if that is
Okay.
what happens. Anyway, so question one. When you're procrastinating about selling or moving your business forward or something important that you need to do but aren't quite getting to, what is the voice in your head saying to you?
The voice inside my head is telling me that I need to make this better, that it's not enough yet.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I need to tweak things. That's what it's telling me.
Okay.
So,
and what sort of things is it generally asking you to tweak? Is it like features or
wording needs to be better. Features need to be tweaked a little bit better. I could fix this font to make it look better. The colors aren't right. This doesn't look right. Oh, I think this looks ugly, so I need to fix that. This package doesn't look right, so I need to redo all of this. Lots of imposter syndrome.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, lots of imposter
Okay.
syndrome.
So in that case, two-part question for this. It's still part of question one, by the way. But anyway, okay. So how does it feel when that's happening? Is one of them. And if you don't tweak things, what is the voice concerned about exactly?
I'm concerned that people won't think that I know what I'm talking about. That people will think that it looks horrible and that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because the internet is not a kind person.
And, no.
And will tell you immediately, oh my gosh, this person, what is this? This is ugly. This is this and this. They clearly have no clue what they're talking about. They are not an expert. So that's
true. The internet can be cruel.
Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I haven't. That's part of the reason why I haven't done some of the things that I've wanted to do, was because X, Y, and Z haven't been good enough. So I haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Painful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a master's degree. And yeah. So, I mean,
odds are good. You generally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, but, I'm very smart at one thing, but it's the business side that they didn't really teach you a lot about what to do.
Yeah, they generally don't, I've noticed.
Yeah. So that has always been the side that I'm lacking on. So that's the part I need, the most assistance with. And when you're lacking in that part, you're struggling on how to.
It can feel kind of shaky, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, we'll do the second question then.
Okay.
And basically, it's when you're feeling that way, how do you resolve it enough to push through?
Sometimes I have to set it aside and come back to it, because you need to look at something with fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you look at it and you say, oh, it wasn't that bad. What was I thinking? I mean, it looks pretty good. And sometimes I just need to give myself a break,
Mm-hmm.
because you just have to, pace yourself, um, and chop it up into manageable bite-sized pieces, which is what I tell the people that I'm working with. Work with it in bite-sized pieces, because you can't expect to get everything done all at
God,
once.
no, and it's never ending.
Yeah, no. Believe me, yeah, it's never ending. But with some of this, especially trying to, start a new venture, like with your podcast or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's with understanding technology and, websites and stuff like that. It is a scary option to venture forth onto the internet and getting your voice out there and getting, what you want to say heard. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, what do you want to say? How do you want to narrow it down? So
Yeah.
yeah, trying to narrow down what exactly you want to focus on can be kind of an issue too. So um I know so much that trying to focus my brain on exactly what do I want to talk about, that's part of my problem too.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of choice though.
Yeah, that's part of my problem. So just focusing and just trying to get everything down to a manageable size is yeah, that's just part of the problem. And then yeah, it's just trying to get everything down into, manageable, a manageable workload. That's just been part of my it's always been part of my problem. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a good support team upstairs, which is great. But
Yeah.
even he sometimes, he doesn't always understand either, and he wants to be a good support, but sometimes all he can say is rah rah, and
Which, I mean, sometimes, let's be fair,
yeah,
that's what you need. But
yeah,
yeah, I
it's what
hear
I
you.
need. But sometimes it's like, okay, but he can't. Sometimes he doesn't. He doesn't know what to say either. So it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So you have to go outside, and get outside help too. So and it's like, okay, where do I go and what do I do? So and there's so much out there. It's
Oh, I know.
yeah,
There's a lot. And yeah, narrowing it down is definitely a thing.
yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, but I don't know if that exactly answered your question, but
It's fine. Where I'm at with figuring out your elemental is I know exactly which pair it is. But
oh,
I'm not
okay,
sure who is the one misbehaving in this pair,
yeah,
which is interesting for me. So what I'll probably do is I'll talk through
okay,
the parts and
okay,
then that will maybe come clear to me while I'm
okay,
doing that. But okay, so for you, I would say that the couple kicking up the most trouble are your earth elemental and your air elemental.
okay,
Now, an earth elemental, we'll just talk about this first. They tend to be, your solid foundations in your business, your building of authority, your, no, this is what I'm good at, which is also partly dark elemental stuff. They blend a little bit in some ways, but the structures you put in place and the plans and so on are to do with the earth elemental. When it's misbehaving, it can be one of two ways. The first way, I don't think it doesn't fit you, but I'll say it anyway, is where they get so wound up and scared that they're like, no, we must grab on to all the control of everything else you're doing and make sure that we follow the plan and only the plan, and this is what we're doing over here. Never mind this.
right,
That's
right, right,
one of the ways they misbehave. The other way that they can kind of throw all the toys out the pram, as it were, is when either they're not present enough and you're just flighty and at the whims of air, which is what's happening. I'll get to that in a minute. Or they'll let things get to a certain amount of stability, and then they'll just shift all the rules and turn it sideways, so that you're not ever fully on solid ground that you can trust. And that happens more when it's working with your dark elemental a little bit, because the dark elemental is mainly to do with your feelings of self-worth and being solid in who you are and your qualifications and what you can do. And no, it doesn't matter what anyone else is saying, I know I'm good. Is
Right.
that
Right.
one. So when that's kicking up a fuss, it'll impact on other things, usually Earth first, because it just does.
Right.
So there's that, which I don't think is necessarily what your problem is, but the reason I have it as part of there is to do with your imposter syndrome is, it's kicking off as a thing. And with the finding it difficult to always speak to things, or not really wanting to, like, stopping yourself in the perfectionism part is quite earthy.
Yeah.
So that's one part of the pair. The other part over here is the air elemental. And, when they're both healthy, they work together quite nicely. Air is generally your ideas, your communication, your pulling stuff out of thin air when you need to, your innovation, your opportunity spotting and grabbing and flitting about type stuff. It's, it's that kind of story.
Right.
When they're not behaving very well, then sometimes you cannot settle to one single thing to completion at any point whatsoever.
Right.
So, like, you'll have about 5, 10, 15, 20 projects on the go, or you'll get to the same part in a project as you get to, and then abruptly decide, actually, it would be way better if we went and did this thing over here.
Right. Right.
And just toss it out. So that can happen. And the other thing that air can sometimes show up misbehaving as is not being willing to speak up about the things you're good at. Sometimes. Or like sharing your expertise, or knowing what to share, or generating ideas around sharing. So this is why I'm like, yes, I have found the pair with the problems here. But I'm not sure which one of yours is going to be causing the most fuss just now. So it may even be both.
You are making more sense than you realize.
That's helpful.
Yeah. You are making way more sense than you realize. If you saw my projects in my project corner right now, you would realize.
Right.
Yeah. So I have about there's about 15 projects that I said I was going to start, and then had to put them down because of whatever reason, and I have not finished them. So
okay, well, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
And at least you're right about where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably if I had to make a judgment call, especially with that bit of information, then air's your bigger problem.
Yeah.
And your companion or way of dealing with it is going to be earth, more or less.
Yeah.
Maybe you might have a touch of dark to handle too, but that feels like it's less of an issue and further down the road, because they do change over time as you start rebalancing. And ask me how I know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I think, for you, we're probably looking at earth, which means from a practical standpoint, you're looking more at chunking things down, like you said, but also instead of maybe trying to narrow down to one thing to say at any given point, what you might want to do is let your air have enough free rein to generate all these ideas, because I am pretty sure that it will do that for you. And then, pick a couple, then decide which one, and then from a structure of, okay, maybe outlining it, or, some sort of loose structure for writing or creating this content, I would then say, okay, this is how it's going to be done. Do your thing and let yourself wander within those confines, because
Okay.
you can always edit it afterwards, and you might start somewhere and wind up on a different point, and it might be better or it might not. But loose structure is actually way better at reining it in than tight structure, because it's going to take one look at rigid structures and go, fuck that, we'll just blow it all down, create a sandstorm, kick up a fuss, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the trick there is like tight enough that you're corralled, but not so tight that it just goes.
Yeah, people have said, oh, you should look for like a corporate job. You would be great at a corporate job and whatnot. And I have said, there's no way I could go back to a corporate job. I've been out to pasture too long. There, I feel too constrained by that. And I've said that time and time again. And there's been other things that have come up, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that.
It's
So
tricky.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you, honestly, on
Yeah.
the strength of this anyway, and with the disclaimer that I don't know the ins and outs of everything.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I mean,
you just bringing this up, and then me, with some of my experiences, people, oh, you would be great at this, you'd be great at this, and I'm like, I know
and
my
you
limits.
might be, but
Yeah.
it might kill you to do it.
Yeah, no. Oh, I know. I have a lot of I would be great at a lot of things, but I know that it would kill my soul to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Quite right.
So this has been very, very, I knew it was going to be interesting. I didn't, I just, yeah, this is okay. All right. So, okay. Well,
Yeah, it's a lot to just sort of hear and then process, I suppose.
yeah. Well, when you said you wanted to do this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna open this myself up for this experience, because I wanted something, I needed something to, to try.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wanted to do this. So yeah, this is definitely giving me some stuff to think about. So, good stuff to think about. So good.
Well, that's good. I'll take that as a solid win then.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, because I've just been kind of with everything going on right now, everything has just been kind of, like in this holding pattern. So this has just been giving me a good direction for me to uh, go into, instead of like, this holding pattern. So
Yeah, the holding pattern's a real thing just now for a lot of people.
yeah, it's like, okay, I
Stuff's
can go this
odd.
way. Yeah, I can go this way and go, okay, instead of doing it this way, I can try it this way and see how it works. And if it doesn't work, then, well, I'll try something new. But
Yeah, it's at least a place to start. So,
no, this was good. Yes, definitely. I'm very, very happy we had this chat today.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It's been
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I'm very happy. Oh my gosh, yes. So yeah, cool. So I'm so glad you got to talk to somebody in the middle of the country of the United States.
Yeah, where the land is bizarrely flat and I'm still not over it.
Yeah, and there's cornfields 3 blocks from my house, and I
See,
have no idea why. But
that's just amazing.
yeah. So, well, thank you very much for having me on today.
Yeah,
And
thank you for coming. Is there any last thing you would like to say to the viewers?
yeah, this was just I didn't know what to expect. I you know I didn't know what exactly I was, I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. But well, this was just just a new experience, and I decided I was just going to try it, and I'm glad I did. So people sometimes pigeonhole themselves and just doing the same thing over and over again, and I've just decided I'm going to try new and different things when I get the opportunity to. And so this was just something that came up, and I decided I was going to help my acquaintance out, and this
Well,
is,
I am very glad you did.
yes.
So,
So, and I hope more people are able to help you out and get the
oh,
experience.
we've got a few people coming on. It's been a lot of fun,
Okay,
actually.
good. All right.
So,
And I hope we are able to do more chats outside of this and be able to connect and everything, because I like being able to talk with other people outside of my little, because it's so exciting in the Midwest. It's so,
I
so
mean, I will take your word for that one. But
yes.
okay, in that case, to bring us to a close,
Okay.
people at home, per usual, if you want to find out what your own elemental is, there's the free quiz on my website over at salesrpg.com. You will get a result. It will probably be the right result, but you will not get the nuance. So if that is something you decide you want and you would love to come on this show yourself, the link for that is in the description as well. And until next time, I will see you later.